there's a idea out there that looks like Jimmy Neutron. No, I'm just kidding. There's an idea where many cultures do this. Is they keep the family into the family. I mean, it's Godfather, right? It's a family business, and all the contributions go to the household and the estate. And so that's kind of the key thing is, I mean, I've realized this, and I'm kind of like at the impasse. Is like, obviously, I want to start this for my family going forward. You know, I've put in financial estate planning in that realm, where it's like, because in America, it's like, hey, let's all pay for, you know, our different houses, our different things. When it's like, I mean, the parents are allowing their kids to stay at home, and we hold it over ourselves thinking that it's bad. But realistically, it is like, I mean, my father-in-law is like, the best time is when you're a dinker, dual income, no kids. Well, think about it, is like, what if you just combined all assets and you started to manage your family like a business, where you're like, hey, look, these are our expenses, you know, these are our plans, this is the direction that, you know, this is our constitution, right? This is our thing. And so that when you're older, you know, like, let's say like the kid who's 16 is like, they go and work, obviously it's like, then they contribute to the family estate, you know, it's like obvious. And when they're 12, you can give them $12,000, which contributes to the family estate, right? So it's like a year, and or you can do that for children. So it's like, you can start not when they're like 16, but when they're earlier, and then, I mean, you're building that business, and then they're seeing you build that business, and you're teaching them. So when they're 13, boom, they're now contributing to your business, to the family business, and it's all staying within the money. Like, that we can buy a fourplex and just own the fourplex for the family, right? Where it's like, okay, this is the contributing factor. Let's get the fourplex together, because none of us are going to leave, you know, and we're only going to add to it. So it's like, that's how you slow grow, or that's how you grow a family into like just a family, you know, where you have an apartment complex as your family. And then the cool thing is like, you charge rent, and then you charge like what the value is worth, so you get cash flow, because you're like, okay. And then you can like, I mean, then you could also do leverage, where it's just basically, you know, you're living, you know, just think, I mean, you look at it this way, and you can, you know, if you combine forces, utilize, okay, look, now we have a lake house, now we have this house, but it takes time, but it's like cash flowing. This is our unit that we live in, you know, there's a warehouse that we work at if we need to, you know, and, you know, they could go and do like, you know, whatever. It's like, if they want to be a lawyer, if they want to be someone, it's like in that local region, then they can go and pool sources. But like, if they have the entrepreneur spirit, you know, then they can go and be a business owner, or like whatever, lead the charge that way, where you give them control of something, but it feeds back into the family, and you instill in that, because they're not doing it for themselves, they're also doing it for everyone. And so that, and then all of that combined, we all get to share in the riches of the family. And so it's like, what's better than a dinker, a quadrinker, you know, a dink, dual income, dual kids, you know, dual income on your dual kid, you know, like the square it, where it's like dual income with kids, or quad income with kids, right? So it's like, then everyone's covering for their basis, or contributing into their basis, because the thing is, the dinkers or sinkers, or, you know, sinkers, single income, no kids, that works, but you know, everybody's contributing into their expenses, and so that's the key. And so, and then what happens, you know, you just have a community where it's like, you start building things, and then you can start to share the thing with your neighbors. And so that's kind of a thought process that it just has been boiling in my head. And it's like, that's a long-term thing, right? Where it's like, where I'm at is, we moved out of our parents' house, and we're in between our parents, but we're all paying a different mortgage on different things, right? So it's like, the interesting thing is like, should I approach it with my wife and her family to say, let's move in to you know, a duplex together somewhere, but obviously they're locked in, and they've got, you know, whatever. Oh, frick, I didn't do what I was supposed to do. parents, obviously it's like the wife is probably going to have some sort of issues with many different things, but the only issues is that she doesn't understand, and not that she has issues, but it's just like it's such an interesting level of thing, and she might not have any issues. What am I saying? She has issues. I have issues, right? But because I have issues, because the people like our parents are not, we're not, what's it called? Adapted for this lifestyle, this culture shock, this shift, and it's a slow growing thing, and we'll see if it works. So stay blessed by the best.